What you mean you don't know Pana? She's dope. What you mean? What you mean? What you mean? What you mean? What is poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl DOPEaxxPANA, and today in this video I'm going to be walking you guys through a brand new trending style. It is lemonade tribal braids, which basically means we're going to be doing a lemonade braid design at the top, and in the back we're going to be doing some super full boho knotless. You guys can also do twist as a variation. And jumping right into this video, it is sponsored by HotBraids. Today I'm going to be using a bundle of their human hair braiding hair in the texture semi-curly. This hair is 20 inches, guys, and it is literally so bomb. I cannot wait for you guys to try this hair out. So they sent me a total of 3 bundles. Each bundle is composed of like 2 bundles that are put together, so you guys can see here, and they are nice and full. And one thing I really love about this hair is it has a very full and fluffy look, but you can also tame it and make it wet. They also send you a card with all of their info on it. You can follow all their handles, and then they also gave me a cute little box that had some combs, clips, and edge brushes in it. I always love the free stuff, so I was excited for that. So I don't always show you guys how I prep the hair, but in this video today I'm going to be showing you guys how we are going to be prepping it. So I am going to break off some of that hair, and I'm going to apply some product to the top of the bundle, and I'm going to go ahead and separate those pieces on my tray. The product is going to help those pieces stay together, so it's easier for me to pick them up as I go. Otherwise the hair tends to kind of like merge together when it's laying on the tray, and also it just makes it easier for me to pull apart and make sure I'm pulling apart, you know, similar size pieces. So I basically go ahead and fill up this entire tray, and like I said, I used 1 bundle for this, and I cannot wait for you guys to see how full this hair is. So jumping right into the style, I'm going to start off by parting my client's hair from ear to ear. This is going to separate where her feed-in braids are going to be and where her box braids are going to be. So the whole entire back section is going to be knotless box braids. We're also going to be doing a couple rows of knotless in the front, so I'll show you that when we get up there. But I'm just going to start off by creating my knotless box braids in the back. These will be like a medium size for me, and because I wanted these braids to be super full, I'm going to be adding about 3 to 4 pieces of the semi-curly human hair braiding hair to each braid. That's going to ensure that I get a nice and fluffy look, guys. I absolutely love this curl pattern. It is so natural looking, so I can't wait for you guys to see how this looks when I get those layers of knotless in. I often get asked how many pieces of boho hair I add to each braid to get a nice and full look. So I know for me as a stylist, I have 2 options for my clients. I have a light boho and I have a full boho. A light boho, I would put 2 to 3 pieces per braid, and sometimes I might skip over a couple braids, so you get kind of like a medium density type of style. For full, I'm putting anywhere from 5 to 7 pieces in each braid, and the longer your client wants the braids to be, the more pieces you're gonna add. So like I said, it just depends on the fullness that they want. But guys, you can also always just build it up as you go. Like maybe start off by adding 2 to 3 pieces to each braid, and then you kind of just see how it's building as you're going. You can see the fullness literally. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, if you want a super full look when it comes to boho, I would say keep adding your boho pieces about 1 inch apart. So you add a piece, you braid down like 1 inch, you add another piece, and that should definitely give you a super full look. Now, when I'm feeding in hair, I personally feed in on the right side. It is a little tricky for me to feed in on the left, so I don't add boho pieces to both sides, and I don't really feel like it makes a difference for me. Even when I make my braids super full and I'm only adding the boho to one side, it still appears to be really full. But I do know I have seen some braiders add boho pieces to both sides, so that's also an option if you want an extremely full look. So this is 100% human hair. You guys know from my boho, I only like to use 100% human hair. And each pack you get 2 50-gram bundles, so 100 grams per pack. And we use 1 pack and just a little bit from another one, guys. So this hair definitely goes a super long way, which I love. We all know that human hair boho hair is super expensive, and so we want to get the most bang for our buck, and we want to get a good quality for our clients. So I absolutely love how full this hair is. I love the curl pattern, and it looks even better when it's wet, so I can't wait to show you guys that. So HotBraids offers several different curl patterns and textures. They also offer their hair in blonde, and they have light curls, bohemian curls, kinky curls. So make sure you guys go ahead and check their site out. As always, everything that I'm going to be using is listed in the description section for you guys. So make sure you guys go ahead and check out their different curl patterns. All of this hair is 100% human hair, and I'm telling you guys right now, it is the bomb.com. I know I always do my boho videos and I'm like, I love this hair, but the girls is not playing about the boho hair. They're coming with it. So I do really love this curl pattern, and I just love being able to offer a lot of different textures. So yes, so basically I'm going to be finishing off this last boho braid in the back, and then I'm going to show you guys how I section off the front, because remember, on the side of lemonade braids we have some singles to add fullness and to make sure that our braids can connect. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to part about 3 rows up from her ear, and I'm going to part straight across, and this little section here is going to be all boho braids, because these are going to be laying underneath her braids that are going to the side. Now, one of the things that I really struggle with lemonade braids is parting, because parting is extremely important if you guys want this style to look correctly. So this is something you definitely need to take your time on. For this first little section, you want to make sure that it's lining up with the middle of your client's eyebrow. So if I were to take my comb and place it in the part and drag it straight across, it should line up with the middle of your client's eyebrow. And this is really important, guys, because we want to make sure that when we do the braids on this side, that they are lining up appropriately. Now, I have also seen people do a row of feed-in braids going downward in this area, but I do like to do the knotless because it does add to the fullness of the style, especially since those braids are going to be hanging along your client's face. You do want to have a nice fullness right there, so I definitely would recommend doing knotless braids versus the braids going straight down, but like I said, I have seen people do a variation of both. So this section here is going to be 3 rows, and I'm going to show you guys what it should look like from the front. Remember, these braids are going to go on whatever side is opposite of your client's part. So this is what it should look like. And y'all, when I seen it at this point, I said, ooh baby, we should just do full knotless. So I might have to run another video back with this curl pattern doing full knotless, just because it was looking bomb. But the next step is going to be to part out the curved part. This is going to separate those braids that are falling to the side from the braids that are obviously going to be curving up, and you want to make sure that you do this part deep. So originally I think I had put my part here, and I decided to do it just a little bit deeper. You want to make sure that this part is deep, because if not, those braids that are going to be braided to the side, they're going to start in like an awkward space, and you're not going to have a lot of space to do designs. So you just want to make sure that you're doing like what I would consider a deep side part for your pre-part basically. So now I had already parted out the first braid, and so I'm just going to go ahead and define that part. Like I said, all of the products that I'm using, from the comb down to the gel and HotBraids hair, is all going to be linked in the description section for you guys, so make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. So this is where the lemonade braid element comes in. This first 3 braids on this side are going to actually curve up and around, and they're going to finish at about the middle of my client's scalp. It's very important that you get your spacing correct for this, because you want your braids to lay flat and you also want them to be close together. So like I said, I'm going to be doing a total of 3 braids on this side that are going to finish at about the middle of my client's head. The other braids are going to be braided in the same direction, but they're going to curve in a different way to create that lemonade braid look. Before completing this style, I always ask my client which side they want their part on. That's going to determine obviously which direction you do these braids in, because everybody's different. Don't ever just assume, because I have some people who wear their hair parted to the right and some that wear their hair parted to the left. So for this front design at the top, honestly guys, I'm just freestyling. I'm parting out kind of like a half circle curve. This is going to be one of those braids that loops around and creates like a little loop, and then this is going to be my guide braid for this section. Every other braid is going to kind of follow in this direction. So you guys can see I'm parting that in half, and I'm not doing that half part all the way down. It only kind of goes to the middle of the braid, and I also left some edges out for my client. This is her preference, but I don't know, styles just hit different when they have a little bit of edges left out. So I'm going to be stitching this braid around and in a loop, and then like I said, this is going to be my guide braid for the design. Every other braid is going to kind of fall and work off of this one. These loop braids are a little tricky because you're gonna have to walk around your client, but I absolutely love them because, I don't know, they just make the style pop a little bit. It's a super cute design. I've seen a lot of people do different designs at the top. Some people have included hearts, some have just done curved braids, but I really love the loop, so I'm gonna be doing a couple of these, and I'm gonna show you guys a trick to get your loop flat right where it turns around and goes in the opposite direction, so make sure you guys keep on watching. If you are a beginner braider and you're gonna do any type of style that has designs in it, I would always recommend pre-parting out your designs, just because it's gonna make it easier for you to have your braids lay appropriately. For me, I think I'm at a point where I can kind of freestyle and I can tell and gauge how my braids are gonna lay, so I kind of just went in for it. But I would definitely say, if you're a beginner, to pre-part this out, because that can literally make or break your style. When I first started doing designs and stuff like that, I did not pre-part out, and I made a lot of mistakes along the way and kind of just learned as I go. So please do as I say and not as I do with that comment, and just maybe pre-part out your designs, just so you can at least see how they're gonna lay and you can make sure that your braids are gonna close up on the side. So the next couple of braids are going to curve around that first guide braid, and like I said, the real designs that I'm doing in this are just going to be a couple of loops. Everything else is just going to follow kind of like a shaped pattern. I didn't record every braid that I did in the top, just because we were pressed for time, and I was also making a couple different pieces of content, but you guys can kind of see the idea of what I'm going for here. Remember, these braids are not being braided all the way down because we have some knotless box braids on this side, so it's going to stop kind of almost halfway through between that eyebrow and, you know, the top of her forehead. So all of my braids will be laying closely. You guys can see that I've kind of just parted this out, and everything is kind of following that same shape and that same curve. And I did do one more loop in one of the sections. So like I said, this is a freestyle, guys. I didn't pre-part it out. If you guys want to follow and copy this design, I'll make sure that you guys get a good view of it in the finished look. So altogether, this style took me around 5 hours to do. I did it with an assistant. And one of the main reasons why it kind of took me a long time is because I've done this style a couple times and I haven't gotten the results that I wanted. And so today I really wanted to make sure that I focused on my parting and I focused on my placement of my braids to make sure that it looked fire. I also did the full boho with HotBraids hair, and you know, boho always just adds a little bit of time on there. But I love the way these turned out, guys. They are literally so fire. I love this boho hair. It just added the little touch of perfection that I needed to the style. And so here you guys kind of see me closing up the braids on this side. That one little knotless box braid, or a couple of them, will be exposed in the back. But other than that, y'all, this style, I cannot wait for you guys to see the finished look. It just literally turned out so fire. So obviously, for the finishing touches, we're gonna go in and do my client's edges. Y'all, I feel like I said before, edges definitely make everything pop. And a lot of people ask if my edge control only works on flat iron edges, and no, it does not. I do use the Dope Collection, which is my own brand, and it works on all different hair textures. A lot of people just like the fluffy edges look, the soft girl type look. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna create some edges to complete this look, and then I'm gonna show you guys the finishing touches for the boho hair. I've been getting a lot of questions about what products I use on the boho hair, and I'm just gonna show you guys how easy and manageable this hair is, especially when it's wet. So make sure you guys stay locked in for that. Now, I do always love to ask my clients how they like their edges done, but I do have a signature style in the way that I do edges. So I always also keep that in mind. When people ask me to do new stuff, y'all, I be sweating. I get so nervous, but I feel like most of the time I always deliver it, and edges is something that they can go home and customize to themselves too. So we decided to perm rod the ends, and so that's what you guys see. And I'm always doing a test strand before I dip or let any hot water touch the human hair. Some human hair, when you dip it, it goes straight, and that's a red flag for me. And this hair didn't. You guys can see that it's holding its curl pattern, which is what I like to see. I don't always directly dip my boho hair in the hot water, but I just like to know that if it touches the hot water, it's gonna hold its curl pattern, and this one definitely did. I think it helps or allows me to be able to dip those braids up higher so that these braids have a lot more movement. And also it just shows me what kind of quality of human hair we're using, because obviously when we dip it in any type of hot water, it should be holding its curl pattern. And so that makes me really, really excited. we didn't know if we were gonna go with straight ends or curled ends, and we just decided to go with curled ends, and I'm using gray rods to achieve this curl pattern, and it blended perfectly with this hair. I am going to be spraying down this human hair, and guys, when I spray it down, all I use is water. There are occasional times where I will use a mousse, but I noticed that mousse over time will leave a buildup of residue on the hair, and it causes it to get sticky sometimes and tangle up more. So I've been just using a mister and spraying through with a water bottle, and a lot of my clients have told me that that has helped them too. Now, my client has had this styling for about a week and let me know that she literally gets compliments everywhere she goes. And her one tip for using this hair is that it does get really fluffy when it's dry. So maybe try doing water and some type of curl defining gel, just if you want to keep this wet look. Otherwise, if you like that full look, then you'll definitely get that from this hair every single time. I absolutely love the wet look on this hair. I feel like it blended down really nicely, and like I said, this was only a pack and literally a little bit of another pack, and that is super impressive, guys, because these are some really full boho braids. I love the way that these turned out. Now, my last and final step is going to be to mousse the top of my client's hair. This is going to add some of that moisture back in and just prevent any product that I've placed in her hair from turning white. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Plus, it's just soothing, y'all. Y'all know when y'all get feet and braids, they be killing y'all. So it just feels really good. And y'all, here is my finished look. I absolutely love the way that these turned out, and I have a bunch of this hair left over, so I am going to do a full set of boho knotless with them just because I want to show you guys how full it is and how bomb it's going to turn out. So make sure you guys check in for that video. But look how beautiful these turned out. Not only that, but my model is also just gorgeous. If you guys love this style and you're going to try it, let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys are feeling it, let's drop some blue hearts for this style, guys. And I hope this tutorial was super easy for you guys to follow. If you have any requests for videos you'd like to see, let me know in the comment section down below. And all of the products that I'm using will be in the description section. So again, my last shout out to HotBraids. I love this hair and I'll definitely be adding it to my menu. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. What you mean you don't know Pana? She's dope. What you mean? What you mean? What you mean? What you mean?